So you're hurt on the job in a warehouse or a storage facility. What's next? My name is Ethen Ostroff. I'm a workers' compensation and personal injury lawyer here in Pennsylvania, but we do help people nationwide with their injury cases. Either we will help you or we'll connect you with the right lawyer. Today we're going to dive into a very fast-paced and dangerous environment where tons of workplace injuries occur, which is in a warehouse or a storage facility. Let's go. So there are several consistent things that tend to be how people get hurt in these types of environments, which is a warehouse or a storage facility. One might be a slip or a trip and a fall. There's a lot of objects out there and a lot of things that can spill. If you slip or trip and fall, you may have a serious broken bone, broken wrist, broken arm, or serious injuries that you need to take care of, or you're going to be on the hook for the time that you will lose at work and the potential medical costs that you would incur. So if you do slip or trip and fall, I do suggest you take that injury very serious. Other things like repetitive injuries. If you do the same kind of lifting of heavy things and over again, you keep doing repetitive injuries. Even things as simple as carpal tunnel if you work behind a desk roll at a warehouse or a storage facility. These repetitive injuries or lifting heavy object injuries are serious and can lead to herniated discs or broken bones or strained muscles that can really be discomforting and serious for you. Other serious injuries that may occur are things like a forklift accident or lifting heavy objects consistently can lead to serious injuries. I've seen very serious injuries occur where a forklift maybe tips over when it's picking up something very heavy, or maybe you bump into a shelf and that shelf falls down on you. At least in Pennsylvania, the rule is if you did not do something intentionally, you have a workers' compensation case. If you were hurt, you don't need to prove whether you were at fault or not. As long as you didn't do it intentionally, you have a workers' compensation case. Some other ways a lot of people get hurt are falling objects. When you're in a warehouse with very high shelves and maybe someone in a forklift bumps into one of those shelves and something falls and lands on you. You could get a concussion, you can break your neck, you can have serious injuries from objects falling in these warehouses. So if you do have something fall on you and you get hurt, that could be a really serious injury. Do not take it lightly. So let's say you did get hurt. What do you do next? The first thing you do, if you are able, if you didn't have a catastrophic injury and you literally need to call 911, report what happened to your supervisor. The job that you work for must make some sort of documentation about what happened. That will be really important evidence for your case, because if you don't report it the same day, they may be able to say that didn't happen here. So you got to report it to your supervisor that day when it occurs. If you do not do that, you will severely hinder your chances of a recovery in your workers' compensation case. Next, in a lot of states, you have to go see doctors that are through your employer's insurance. Those are called panel doctors in a lot of states. First, treat with them. If that does not work for you and they are not giving you the benefit that you feel you need, you can seek other doctors if you must, but just make sure that you're not going to be waiving any medical benefits that you receive through your workers' compensation. So typically, I recommend go to the doctor they suggest. If it isn't working for you and they're not giving you the care you feel you need, you report that to them, you report that to your supervisor. If they suggest an alternative panel doctor, try that. If that is still not working for you, then maybe then you consider alternative treatments. Document everything, assume it's all gonna be lost. If you don't document exactly what happened and in your incident report, you report to your supervisor, you don't have an account that you say, this is how this occurred, it may not be written up that way. It may be written up in a different way with intentionality as a part of it, which could lead to you not getting benefits. So you got to make sure that everything is documented correctly and in a way that you agree with in whatever incident report your supervisor puts together. Next, consider talking to a lawyer if you don't feel like the benefits are moving in a direction that is fair to you. Workers' compensation lawyers work for free on what's called a contingency fee basis in every state across the country. That means they only get paid if you get benefits you deserve. And your case is worth multiples if you do file a petition or file a claim for your workers' comp benefits by hiring a lawyer. The case is worth more. It statistically is true. So don't be afraid to talk to a lawyer to get a case filed if that is necessary. Now let's talk about the potential compensation that you may be able to receive for your workplace injury in a storage facility or warehouse. First would be your medical expenses. Any medical out of pocket or medical bills that you incur as a result of your work injury will be accounted for. Your pain and suffering. If you were hurt, you need to be made whole, just like in a personal injury case. Your lost wages. If you had time off from work because of your workplace injury, you're entitled to that. And also your disability benefits. If you were hurt and you're out of work for a while, you're additionally entitled to benefits for that time out. Lastly, if you were hurt at a storage facility or a warehouse, I know I talked about this already, don't be scared to talk to a lawyer. A lawyer will walk you through whether you are being taken advantage of by your employer's insurance company or your employer. If you do talk to a lawyer, typically the biggest fear people have with hiring a lawyer is they're scared they're gonna get fired. Guess what? If you get fired for your legitimate workers' compensation case, you now have two cases. You have one for a retaliation case, which is a wrongful termination, and two for your workplace injury. So guess what? Bingo, they fire you for your workplace injury because you hire a lawyer. They now have a second lawsuit on their hands. My name is Ethen Ostroff. I'm a workplace injury lawyer. I help people who were hurt at work and with their personal injury case. If you have any questions and you were hurt at work, we'd love to be there for you. Click below where you can please subscribe to my content and stay along with us while we help you with your future injury case. Thank you so much.